What's going on, guys? Liam from Lazarus Personal Training. Slightly different angle today, trialing it out, seeing if I like it, keeping it fresh. In this video, I'm going to go through my top 4 accessories in the gym and one accessory that I think should go in the bin. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I think that while by itself resistance training in the gym can be very much you going in, picking up weights and getting on with it, I do think that accessories are helpful and I do think that they can improve our training. I do think there are some that are absolutely pointless, naming no names. Jaw size, what is that even about? Shake weight is another example. These like QVC workouts, forget them. But in terms of accessories that we can practically use in the gym, I do think there are some that benefit our training massively. So I'm going to go through again my top 4. There is an order to them, but overall I just think these would be handy to have in your gym bag. So without further ado, let's get into it. Accessory number 4 are Olympic weightlifting shoes. Maybe an accessory, maybe a clothing choice, but basically a shoe with a slight lift in it. This goes against my normal notion of training without shoes on, hashtag no shoe crew. But the reason why I think that using Olympic lifting shoes can be beneficial is that it increases that range of motion in his ankle, it gives us a flat, stable platform to work out on and to hold onto the floor with. I just think there are benefits to using Olympic weightlifting shoes. The reason why they're an accessory is because I wouldn't use them all the time. I would bring them in on cycles, but I do think that having a pair, however expensive or cheap they might be, is an absolutely fine thing to have in your bag. I know mine I picked up from strengthshop.co.uk. They were on offer and they were like 25-30 quid or something like that. Now that is very cheap for Olympic weightlifting shoes. The inside of them has slightly come apart. I could probably do with fixing that a little bit, but for what I need them for, as a shoe that has a lift in it, fantastic. I don't think we have to go around and spend £100+ on a pair of Olympic weightlifting shoes, but if you are using them regular and you want a pair that fits well, probably best to go down that route. Accessory number 3, slightly off tangent, a slightly different one here. I would go with a tripod. Let me explain. Now the tripod, not only for filming purposes for videos, has been extremely helpful in my progression because it means that I can set something up at the height I need it to set up to go back to look at my form and to properly analyse it. Like I mentioned in the video about counting calories, if we want to work out where we need to improve, it's always handy to go back and look at it, whether that be tracking food or whether that be wrestling in a ring. If we're looking to improve our form and we don't have a coach with us to give us that feedback, we need to be able to film it. Now, would you rather just prop your phone up onto something, or would you rather have a tripod that you can set up at the right height and then you don't have to worry about if it gets knocked over, if it's not visible, if someone stands in front of it? Now, people do stand in front of tripods all the time, but it's far more visible. You don't have to get an expensive one. The one that I picked up was about 20 quid from Currys/PC World, but again, you can probably find that a little bit cheaper on Amazon. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing in the world. However, I would suggest one that has extendable legs and like an extendable neck, because then you can set it up as high or as low as you need to set it up. It's not something that you massively have to put a lot of money into, but I definitely think investing in a tripod will help progress your lifts by being able to go back, look at them and assess exactly how that lift has gone, especially when it comes to our bigger compound movements like squatting, benching and deadlifting. Accessory number 2 that I think is crucial to have in your gym bag is a lacrosse ball. Now, a lacrosse ball is a hard rubber ball that doesn't have a lot of give to it, that we use for self-myofibril release, or basically massaging your own body. It doesn't have to be a lacrosse ball, but something that has that density to it is going to be handy. So like a golf ball will work. I have used cricket balls, but what I find is they tend to slip and slide, whereas the lacrosse ball, because it's got a rubber coating on the outside of it, holds a little bit better. We use the technique of trigger pointing with a lacrosse ball, so whether that be massaging the bottom of your foot, massaging into your shoulder blade or hitting your pec, we can target these areas, massage them out so then we have a better range of motion through them, better mobility, which then we can build better stability into it, and then hopefully that improves the joint function. I found that it completely changed around my training, and the reason why I've gone with a lacrosse ball rather than a foam roller is that with a lacrosse ball you can go from small to big, so you can cover smaller areas, you can cover bigger areas, whereas with a foam roller It's big, so you can go from big, but you can't really go down to small. If I want to massage out the bottom of my foot, I can use the Lacrosse Ball. If I want to do my, say, lower back, I could use the Lacrosse Ball, or I could use a foam roller. You can't say the same for the foam roller on the bottom of the foot. My accessory that I would throw in the bin are wrist straps. Now, this might go against the grain a little bit, especially if you're ingrained in a powerlifting community. Wrist straps are pretty widely used on a ton of exercises, whether that be benching or whether it be squatting. I completely see the reason behind it. It offers extra support for the wrist, just like a weight belt would offer extra support for the core lower back. However, something that I fell into myself, and I think other people fall into, is that they use wrist straps to mask wrist weakness. And through that masking comes more instability. We never gain on using wrist straps. They just allow us to lift that little bit more, which when it comes to, let's say, a squat or a bench where we're looking for maximal numbers, well, yeah, that's okay, that's what it's there for. However, if we're overall looking to improve our bodily function and our bodily strength, all that wrist straps do are masking. Now, is there a place and time for it? Yes, in the same way that I think there's a place and time for weightlifting belts. I think weightlifting belts transfer more and are of more use, but overall I think wrist straps for the general population, for people that are looking to get stronger, we don't really need them. And my number one accessory that I would have in a gym bag, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, is a red resistance band. I absolutely love resistance bands. I think they're massively helpful. I think they're helpful for warming up. I think they're helpful for cooling down. I think they're helpful for making exercises sometimes harder, sometimes easier, sometimes a better plane of motion. I just think they're really versatile. To say they don't cost a lot, I think the ones that I pick up from My Protein are £8-9 and you get 2 of them. To say they don't cost a lot, they don't take up much space, they are a fantastic tool. Not only can you use them to improve your workouts in the gym, but for a lot of people, as we've experienced, being at home, you can get a decent workout out of a red resistance band. I would go with the looped ones that I believe are 41 or 42 inches, and the red resistance band is about ½ an inch in diameter. Again, I think it's a fantastic tool. I think if you don't have one in your gym bag, you are severely missing out, and I would go out and buy one right now, maybe, because people might not have them in stock still. I would go with a looped one rather than one with handles, just because it's a little bit more versatile. But overall, a resistance band is a really good tool to have. With that, in the comments below, let me know what you think of this list. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Are there any accessories that you feel have made your life in gym a lot better? Or have you tried an accessory that you thought, this is a load of rubbish? If you've liked this video, give it a like, maybe share it. And if you really like my content, subscribe to the channel because it massively helps. I've been Liam from Lazarus Personal Training, and I will see you next time.